So today we're going to be talking about the slide rule. The slide rule was invented in the 1600s but started to become popular in the 1800s. By the 19th century, the slide rule was being taught to United States students across the country. But in the 1970s, the digital pocket calculator was invented. And this was ultimately the end for the slide rule. And by the 80s, the slide rule had basically become sort of obsolete because of the simplicity from the calculator. But while the slide rule isn't really used anymore, the information on it is still accurate, and it's still a great way to multiply, divide, calculate logs, find powers, and more. So starting with a basic introduction, this metal piece right here is called the runner, and it moves left or right and left like that. This is also used for multiplication and division. This is the main piece for it, like I'll explain later. And then this up here is the A-axis, and the D-axis is down here, and these are on the fixed parts of the slide rule. And then this part right here, the middle part, is the slide, and the slide actually goes in and out. I can show you like this, and it moves. This is also used for multiplication and division. If you look to the left, you'll see the left index, and then the right index is over here, and you can use these indexes interchangeably. Like see that goes 1, and then it goes back, it's 1 and 1 on both sides. And it sort of repeats, like here's the 9, and then it repeats here, and it goes back up to 9. The finding square roots and squares, we're gonna be using the A and B scales, and yes. So we'll start off with multiplication, which in my opinion is the hardest. Let's say you want to multiply 7 times 6. So you want to take one of the axes and bring it, take like the 1 here, and then bring it to the 7 on the D-axis. So if we go like that, and you line it up just like that, so you can see there's a 7 here, and then there's the 1, and then you can actually use this to see, make sure it's right on the line, which that should be fine. And then you want to take the runner and bring it to the 6 on the C-axis, which is right here. And then if you look, these are all 10 intervals of 10, so 10, 20, 30, 40, and that's about 42. So that's the simple way to do multiplication on the slide rule. So next we can do, we'll learn about division. Division is actually quite simple. Let's say you want to do 3 divided by 4, or 3 over 4. So what you want to do, you want to take the C-axis, or the C-scale, the C-scale, and bring it over to the 3 on the D scale. So right here, let's see, right here, you see the 4 is over the 3, which, you know, obviously it's 3 over 4, but this is how you do it on the slide rule. And then you take the runner and you bring it to the axis. I'll just do the right axis, and then you'll get 75, so 0.75. That's how you do division, and you can do that with like if you want to do 2 over 3, you bring it right there, if you can, I'll point it out to you. Bring it over here, and then you're looking at 6.6 about, so 0.6.6 right there. And yeah, that is how you do division on the slide rule. Squared and square roots on the slide rule. What you want to do, you actually don't need the slide part. You can just pull this out, and we can put it off to the side. The only thing you need are the fixed rules, so the top and the bottom. Now, let's say you want to take the square root of 6, for example. You go over to 6, and then you look just directly on the top scale, and you will find that 6 squared is about 36, obviously. I mean, that's pretty simple. And you can do that with any of these. So 2, you know, you can look up and it's 4, 3 is 9. And let's say you want to find something really weird, like we'll do 2.4 squared. You're going to be looking at 4.8. So actually, it's kind of interesting how this works. And then if you want to do the square root, you just look at the top up here and then look down on the bottom axis. So let's say you want to do the square root of, I guess we can do 4, which is just 2. And then if you want, we can go over here and do the square root of 50, which is just going to be just a little bit over 7, which makes sense because 7 squared is 49. So that's pretty close. And yeah, those are some basic ways of how to use a slide rule. Yeah.